I think actually the irony is Edward, he's trying incredibly hard to show that he's not an accountant, he's not the accounting model. And unfortunately I think he left a lot of the good parts of the accountancy at the door when he came in.
That's the most sensible thing I've heard here today, actually.
Lord Sugar, I believe all I'm guilty of on this task was being too ambitious. I thought I was going to be bringing you £1,000, and I think you can see that I would have done had production.
Would have, could have, and should have.
I know.
I know. If you had a plan and you had it in your head, it'd be good. It'd be good and share it with everyone.
I'm very happy to accept I made an error in that I underestimated the manpower needed to squeeze oranges.
Could you have sold more orange juice?
Definitely.
A lot more.
Absolutely,
Without a doubt.
So the flaw was that you didn't make enough.
It was our lead product. That was what we wanted to sell more of. If there had been more product there, I'm confident we would have shifted it.
I'll save you any pain trying to work this out. I've got some numbers for you. You bought 1,400 oranges approximately. You could have made 470 bottles, okay? You actually made 156. So that tells me something went wrong in the manufacturing process.
Yes, we had 3 juices and all 3 electric juices broke down.
Leon, you were the person working the electric machines which broke.
Maybe the engines had burnt out momentarily, like for a couple of hours, but it was the couple of hours that we couldn't afford to wait for them to cool down.
Well,
they were all out of order.
Clear that it was a case of mishandling the equipment.
Leon, your business is all about menus for restaurants, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Type of stuff. So you've got an idea and understanding of distribution of food and things like that.
Well, yeah, that's right. I understand the distribution side.
So what was you doing all day long?
Pressing the juices, getting them bottled up, labelled. I mean, I might not necessarily been in the limelight squashing the juices, but I was certainly there squashing the juices.
Alex, could you tell me what you did?
Yeah, absolutely. I ran the fixed unit at Liverpool Street Station.
You mean you was in the lorry?
I was in the lorry, so I was stocking it, making sure it looked good, serving the soup up, putting it in cups. I will tell you right now, I didn't sell as many as the other guys.
We sold 9 units, basically.
Yeah, oh, that's fine, and I helped close other deals.
Fine compared to other people that
absolutely,
you know,
but people want to see the units looking clean, tidy, and that doesn't just appear by magic. You have to do that and make it happen.
Well, I can confirm I saw you cleaning and cutting bread.
Yes, because the bread had to be sold in portions to go with the soup.
Yeah, it's important to keep the van clean. Yeah, it's important to cut the bread. But everybody else sold, you didn't sell.
Back office then, was you?
If you want to look at it as back office, but had there been no back office, there'd have been no frontline sales.
Good place to hide.
Not really. Absolutely not.
Well, look, Edward, you are going to have to bring back 2 people into this boardroom that you think are responsible for the failure of this task.
The 2 people, Lord Sugar, that I'm going to be bringing back in are Gavin and Leon.
Right. The ones that have been let off, so to speak, here. Go back to the house.
Sorry, Lord Sugar.
You 3 go and step outside, and I'll call you back in a few minutes. Edward, he reminds me of a very slow internet line. You have sit and wait, and you see him ticking over. But on paper, look where he's been trained by one of the biggest firm of accountants in the world.
Well, he certainly hasn't accounted for himself very well, has he?
Gavin has been selected because Gavin challenged him right at the beginning to be the project manager, and Leon made a mistake with the juicers. But the bottom line is, Alan, you've got to own a business with one of these candidates 50-50.
Yeah, would you send the 3 of them in, please?
Lord Sugar will see you now.
Edward, I want to know why you brought Gavin into this boardroom.
Lord Sugar, I brought Gavin in because, first of all, it's kind of been said that he put himself forward as PM. I don't feel he ever really put himself forward.
He did, didn't he?
No, I don't think he did.
Did he put himself forward?
Basically, I said I was willing to be project manager.
Very spinelessly.
Hang on, he's just asked me a question. Can I answer the question? Is that okay? Basically, I'm a business manager, I've got my own business, I buy stock and I sell it. And I basically said, looking at my experience, I'd be willing to do project manager. And we took a vote on it.
The reason he wasn't voted was because he did it so sheepishly, no one could be inspired. As soon as I took the calculated risk of putting myself forward, no one else needed to.
Maybe because they're gutless and spineless, and normally...
And I've got a lot of guts.
Okay, but he put himself forward.
He didn't really put himself forward. If he put himself forward,
did he put himself forward or not?
These were the two boys that...
Did he put himself forward or not?
I think his hand went up, yeah. I think Edward had made it... He was pretty cocksure that he was going for it. You know, he hadn't actually asked what anyone did in the business world before he put his hand up for project management.
I felt that
Is it personal then?
It's not personal.
You took an immediate dislike to Gavin.
I felt that Gavin was not a doer.
You say he's not a doer, but he sold the second highest number of units.
I did not have that feedback from Jim.
You should have.
He just literally wanted to be the project manager, and he just couldn't do the job. He couldn't do the job at all. He just told everyone just to go away. Whenever you gave him feedback, just go away and get on with it. You know, it's just not constructive.
I'm not going to sit here and be made to feel that big.
Well, that's how big you are, because you were absolutely stupid on this task.
You know what? I had the guts to just take a team.
Well done, you had the guts. I'll give you that. You put yourself forward and well done, but you didn't do anything else. You wanted to wear the hat, but you didn't fulfil the role.
Not only am I the youngest in the team,
well done,
I'm the shortest, I had the guts to get... I had a motley crew of young men, and I got them into a team. You did not get loads of negatives out of them. My job was to get a team together and to get you profit, which I did.
I'm getting some negatives now.
I got you profit.
But you lost the task. What's Leon doing here anyway?
Leon's here because I felt that we lost time in the kitchen. It's as simple as that. I haven't got exact numbers, but you know, in terms of sales, I'd say he was at the weaker end of our team.
To me, at that point, it wasn't really about individual sales. I know that I can sell. You know, I can sell. I've got my own business where I've had to sell. I've had to do everything like that.
Inspire me, Leon, because I'm looking for a business partner here.
Lord Sugar, let's go.
Inspire me.
Here we go.
Because at the moment, you've sat here for nearly a day and a half. You haven't opened your blooming mouth, really.
Agreed.
And now it's time.
Okay, going back to sort of me as a person, I'm pretty passionate about everything I do. You can spot something, you realise that you can make money off it instantly. I've pretty much done that with the companies that I've owned. And proven quite a success in them.
So, if I had to ask you a point-blank question, who is responsible for the failure of this task, who would you say it is?
I would instantly say Edward. He doesn't have the entrepreneurial flair, the enthusiasm. He's an accountant.
A lot of people that end up as big bosses of companies are started out accountants.
I didn't know that.
I ain't got no problem against accountants.
Nor have I.
The only problem I got here on this task is that that accountancy skill wasn't used. Gavin, I don't know what you're doing here. You sold well, so quite frankly, I think you've done enough, as far as I'm concerned, to say that you're going to remain in this process. Okay?
Thank you, Lord Sugar.
Leon, I'm going to be perfectly blunt with you. I'm not very enthusiastic about you, to be honest. I ain't seen anything sparkling. You've got a business of your own. There is a production issue here, which is the main catalyst of what went wrong. We definitely didn't produce enough stuff, and the team lead is placing the blame with you on that. Edward, kind of admire your enthusiasm to take on the team leader's role, but clearly had no expertise here. You just felt you were going to do it all in your head. And Edward, one thing you need to learn in life is not to be ashamed of what you're best at doing.
I've got no shame in being an accountant, but I already was one. And that's why I think it's more important that I show I can lead.
But you can't. But you didn't.
I did lead.
You didn't.
I did lead.
You didn't.
The reason this room was so silent...
You know what I've done all my life? I've walked into factories throughout the world, and because I'm an expert in electronics, I look at something and I bang, see things that other people can't see. And here, basic, simple mathematics is what you do all day long for a day job, and yet what you've done is you're saying, I don't want to use my account accountancy skills. I want to show I could do something else. That's nonsense, man. That's nonsense. You said on your resume that I'm Lord Sugar's dream. You know, with the greatest respect, you've been a bit of a nightmare. And so, for that reason, Edward, I've got to say to you, you're fired. Just learn from this, Edward. There's no shame in you being an accountant. Don't ever run yourself down as far as that's concerned. Gentlemen, go back to the house. Okay.
At the end of the day, Lord Sugar, he didn't see what he wanted in me, and I can accept that. I'm only 25. The world is my oyster. Roll with the punches.
So who do we think is going to be coming back?
Ed did put a bit of blame towards Leon about the juicing machine, so...
Do you think Leon's not coming back?
I got a feeling that might be the case.
Leon? I think...
I hope not.
Ed was trying to get across, like he was saying, I'm more than just an accountant, you know, and he was so passionate about it, and he was so involved, you know, he got very upset, and, you know, it wasn't nice, but
it wasn't nice.
Obviously, when you're in that situation, you know, you've got to stand up for yourself. If you don't learn how to pipe up, you're going to go home.
We should raise a toast to Ed, though. I mean, he's the first one. To Ed, to Ed, to Ed.
15 candidates remain. Lord Sugar's search for his business partner has begun. Next time...
Your next task is all about technology. You're going global on this one.
The teams get creative.
Right, tally-ho!
In a 21st century task.
50 downloads already.
The battle for customers goes online.
There's just a basic issue of taste here.
Susie, I'm going to stop you now because... Susie, no.
You've lost. You shouldn't have lost this task. You're fired.